Hello and welcome to the Political Awakening on the 12th of January, 2026. This is an analysis on the current situation in Iran entitled Britain Goading American Action in Iran as Trump Looks to Give the Regime Time. While the British government has adopted a publicly cautious stance toward events in Iran, refusing so far to sanction the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps or to formally back its own preferred figure, Prince Reza Pahlavi, who resides in the United States, the British media has taken a far more aggressive role. It has positioned itself as the primary voice of the Iranian protests, amplifying both the scale of unrest and the severity of the regime's crackdown. This coverage appears designed to pressure President Trump, placing his credibility on the line following repeated statements that the United States would intervene if protesters were killed by the regime. Britain appears to have seized an opportune moment to destabilize the long-standing, largely unspoken relationship between Washington and Tehran, one that has existed since the fall of Britain's former client, the Shah of Iran, and the rise of the American-backed Ayatollah Khomeini. Since then, Britain has worked consistently to prevent Iran and the United States from developing closer ties, particularly in ways that might allow Washington to benefit from Iran's oil reserves, internal investment for U.S. companies, and strategic position. One of the most consequential examples of this interference was Britain's role in facilitating the delivery of Salman Rushdie's The Satanic Verses to Khomeini via Khalem Siddiqui, then editor of The Observer. The resulting fatwa against Rushdie effectively destroyed any realistic prospect of rapprochement between Iran and the United States. Since that episode, Britain has ensured that whenever relations between Washington and Tehran show signs of improvement, a new crisis emerges, forcing American retreat. This pattern was evident during the Obama administration when President Barack Obama and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton attempted to reset relations with Iran. Britain, working through European partners and using Iran's nuclear program as cover, acted to obstruct progress, while European governments simultaneously expressed anger at U.S. sanctions imposed on their companies investing in Iran. Absent a military coup, there is no credible political figure or movement capable of serving as a unifying alternative acceptable to Washington. This reality explains why many U.S. senators have questioned the likely outcome of any American military intervention in Iran. President Trump has declined to support Reza Pahlavi, recognizing that he lacks broad legitimacy among Iranians themselves. Instead, Trump's rhetoric about intervention has arguably served to strengthen the regime. Any overt U.S. action would be widely perceived inside Iran as foreign interference. Against this backdrop, U.S. media attention to a telephone call between Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, implying discussion of Iran, appears deliberate. The leak reinforces the regime's narrative that the United States and Israel are conspiring to destabilize Iran, a claim many Iranians find unconvincing but which the leadership exploits nonetheless. Iran's supreme leader has seized on this narrative, blaming unrest and the killing of protesters on Israeli provocateurs, while drawing a distinction between legal demonstrations and allegedly Israeli-backed agitators. Trump has further extended a lifeline to the regime by stating that Iranian officials are in contact with him for discussions. In typical fashion, Tehran has responded with a blend of threats and conciliatory signals, expressing readiness for talks while warning it is prepared for war, if necessary, including threats to U.S. interests and global shipping and energy supplies in the Persian Gulf. These contacts have been reported as taking place in Switzerland, with Swiss intermediaries acting as go-betweens. Britain, by contrast, appears intent on weakening American influence through destabilization and the insertion of its own interests, while simultaneously goading Washington into multiple theaters of conflict. All the while, Britain presents itself as America's indispensable ally, playing on Trump's Wild West rhetoric and projections of U.S. power. Thank you for watching and listening. We look forward to providing you with further insightful analysis. More analysis is available on www.thepoliticalawakening.wordpress.com. Goodbye.